Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, you're in for it. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Y'all. I almost didn't put my face on the screen. I was just going to be like, loo, la, la, la. Okay, so Lindsay has a whole bunch of stuff up already in the comments. First and foremost, I'm going to be going live later this evening to do aura paintings. If you'd like to purchase an expedited request for an aura painting, that's where I paint your aura live. Go to mevolving.com/shop/aura-event. Next, we have the Ground the Clown fundraiser. I see that a couple of you guys have already purchased items from Ground the Clown. This is a very special fundraiser, as all the proceeds from this will go towards my legal costs to address nonsensical crap. Like nonsensical. But hey, you know what? We got to do what we need to do to let even the clowns know that the circus doesn't extend to the rest of the world. So go check it out. The products are amazing. Let me just hold up. I gotta show you guys my favorite. I'm getting this for my husband. He requested it. I was thinking of getting a pennant too. But look. Okay, hold up. Let me share this. Let me share my screen. It cracks me up. Oh, the cup is good too. Here, look. Let me get things off the screen. So it's a it's a 32-ounce cup, and the back of it says, "I will not say or do dumb things." I will not say or do dumb things, because some people are just, Ground the Clown. And then I love the sticker. Hold up. This. Can we change the prices? Okay, anyways. I love this. It's an apron. I did have like bath mats and stuff, so you guys could totally wipe your feet all over the clown. And then I want to get this for behind me, right? Just like post it right there behind me. That would totally make me crack up every time I come into my workspace. Like literally every time I come into my workspace, I would crack up rather than be pissed off and frustrated and just, like, why do people have to be this way? I mean, there's different color options. You want to be a little more, if you want to be somber, if you want like the purity of the movement. Let me stop. Okay, I don't got time for this. I gotta do reading. I'm exhausted today, you guys. I'm exhausted. If I gotta waste my time on this bullshit, I'm gonna entertain myself. That's just that. I'm gonna entertain myself. So, okay. If you'd like to learn how to work energy the way I do, you want to learn from me. I teach all sorts of different things. Go to k33academy.com/store, and you'll be able to see all the different workshops that I have available. Okay. All righty. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is the countdown has begun. The countdown has begun. What is this countdown towards? I don't know. What are you counting down towards? Can you guys hear that? All that noise? Hold on. Woo. Woo. Someone decided to vacuum. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. All right, here goes. A nap like sounds amazing right now. A nap literally sounds like the best idea ever. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, guys. I'm almost ready. All right. Final deck. Okay, now we're ready. Here goes. Here goes. All right, so there's a rebirth in process. This is something that's not a secret. This is something that you're aware of already. You might be having a hard time accepting it, you know, like coming to terms with the process that you're in, but you're aware to whatever degree you are aware of what this is, what it means, all of that. Excuse me. All right. Ooh, this is a not good feeling. This is a very not good feeling. I'm actually concerned for you guys. Okay, looking at the cards, this is kind of telling me that you've been fighting your process. And when you fight your process, your higher self has a tendency to utilize much more intense methods to gain your compliance in whatever it is you're needing to comply with. Okay. So, let's tie the hair back because we're going to need our space clear for this type of foolery. We gotta unbutton some of this. We gotta just, you know. All right. So, someone's coming to an awareness that they're probably never going to get their hands on you, right? That's not good because it's this sense of, it's not that this person and you belong together and, you know, no. This is a very distorted, very disgusting type of energy. That's why I'm saying, like, this is not good. This feels really gross. Like, this is someone who is disrespectful of your space, disrespectful of your sovereignty. This is someone who, the type of person who doesn't take no for an answer. Like, you just don't know. You don't know, and I'm going to make you understand. why you should want me. Like, no, you're disgusting. Whoever this is disgusting. Like stalker vibes for real. Girl, you can't make these faces because you're never doing Botox. You're not getting facial surgeries or injectables or any of that. Preserve. Preserve. Y'all should do that with me. Preserve. I gotta take that tone too, so that way it like. Ugh. This is someone that's just gross. This is a gross individual, and they're wanting so bad for this fulfillment to come through, but it's not being supported by soul. It's not being supported by anything. You're not even in compliance or agreement with it. And so they're trying to hide all the steps that they're taking to try and force this on you, right? This is such a negative ass. Is that what? Preserve. Preserve. Girl, don't. Don't. Be happy. This is gross. I am so not, I don't like this type of energy. I don't like this type of behavior, this type of mindset. It's very yuck. Okay. This is someone who's being very much misguided. They probably have something parasitic going on with them. This degree of yuckiness, it's making me feel really, really hot, like instantly hot. So I would assume this is someone who probably has more than just a parasitic latching. I want to say this is probably more than parasitic thought inception. I think I want to go so far as to say this person might be possessed, might be full on, like their mindset has fully been consumed by something highly parasitic. Hold up. Just grab this. Right at the bottom. Yep. Yeah. Dark interference. That would explain why they feel so nasty. It's a really nasty feeling. Very, very nasty. Of all the cards to be on the bottom. So this is not someone that you can heal. This is not someone that you're going to be able to help. This is not someone that just needs some understanding and, this is someone who is just yuck. It's very, very yuck. And the sense that I get is this ugliness that you're having to deal with is going to be the very thing that manifests the return of a balancing force. It's going to manifest the return of something that helps to address some of this imbalance that's been pushed on you. Is a really not good feeling. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. So the lack of okay. What I just said, right? This yuckiness is being used to manifest this masculine energy, this masculine presence. The next card that comes up is mirrored souls. This is someone who is a mirror to your soul. This is someone who, not the person who's nasty. I'm talking about the other person that's kind of off to the side. Maybe they're not in your life. Maybe This is not someone you've been in a relationship with. Maybe this is someone who at one point was some type of friend. Or just, I don't know who this is to you, but this is someone that makes you feel safe enough that you can close your eyes. This is someone that doesn't make you feel like you have to be on edge. You have to be ready for war. You have to be ready to defend yourself. This is someone that makes you feel safe, right? And that is a person who's going to create so much stillness for you with their presence that the imbalance and the yuckiness of this misconstrued cosmic connectedness, they're going to help to correct that. Okay. Because they're going to be able to hold a space so still and so peaceful for you that you'll be able to see clearly what you need to do with the yucky energy, with the demon Horita. Okay. Whoever this is that's trying to take ownership of you, trying to like, I feel like this is someone that could actually harm you. I hope that if this resonates, you know who it is and you know how to avoid them. Okay. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just completely withhold access to you. For someone like what the cards are talking about, you got to be careful because that individual feels like they would wild out once they realize they can't have access to you. That's what my stalker did. Once he realized, like, you're not just going to keep emailing or messaging all hours of the night about God knows what. Yeah, that's when he began wilding out. Yep. So be ready for that if you are experiencing that type of thing where you have to deal with someone who has a very skewed perception of what you are for them. Yeah, some people are just crazy. I'm not talking about like trying to use crazy as an adjective to degrade them. No, that's a clinical assessment. Yeah. Some people have a very, very skewed, very distorted, very poisonous mental function at this point. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the world is changing. There are plenty of people who are behaving very, very like just questionable. Their behaviors have caused them to become much more aggressive. Like, wow, you're wilding out for what? Um, what? That's crazy. I haven't been called that name in like since I was a photographer. That's crazy. How you get my email? Anyways, yeah, you guys got to be careful, okay? Be very, very careful. When people start behaving aggressively towards you, you have to take that serious. Is not the time for you to try and play some type of internet warrior in real life. It's not. Okay. There's a yucky energy, very, very yucky energy right now. Um, do you guys feel, um, well, no, 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 no. I'm going to be doing a clearing. It's a disgusting energy. I have a very good idea of why there's a disgusting energy. Could only be one disgusting person. Like, I want to vomit type of disgusting. Let me just find a song. So if you would like to be part of this clearing that I'm going to be doing, go ahead and put hashtag clear. I'm going to calibrate the frequency to hashtag clear. None of this energy will go to you, Philip Petrovic. You're a piece of fucking shit. And I will never help you with energy or anything like that. Ever. Ever. I don't care what's happening to you. You're not my concern. So, sorry I had to go on that rant again. This whole thing is very disruptive to my life. It's very disruptive. And I cannot wait to get that update that he's been put in jail. Hopefully with no internet access. If you guys are ready. Just breathe. Breathe very deep, very slow. My energy will always honor your sovereignty without permission from your highest self. None of this clearing will affect you in any way. For those of you who are members of my community, if you've ever been threatened by this creep, I'm aware of exactly who he has threatened. I'm creating an additional shield for you, a highly advanced defensive shield, a shield capable of launching a full-on war on your behalf, even without you not knowing that your energy is being attempted to be accessed. Just breathe. It's now integrating into everyone's fields. For the people that I did the shield for. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel intense heat. I'm allowing the energies to surge. For any and all who wish to do harm to myself or any member of my community, The spaces I occupy will now no longer be hospitable to you. You will feel the physicality of not being welcome in this space. You will not imagine it. You will feel it. Myself and my community will no longer tolerate anymore. Not even a little bit. How's everyone feel? You guys feel good? Yuckiness is gone. No more yucky feeling either. I feel good too. Yeah. Our community should no longer tolerate any of that. There's nothing spiritual about that type of tolerance, because that is not tolerance, that is enablement. Know the difference between tolerance and enablement. Okay. Yeah. Enough is absolutely enough. Enough is enough is enough. You can only push a girl like me so far. I think I'm done. I know I'm done. I know I'm done. And I also know at this point, our community, we're all done too. Love it. So, some of the symptoms that you guys might feel if someone or something is trying to access you: excessive sleepiness, twitchy eyes, pain, especially the temple, the jaw, behind the head, headaches, those type of sensations. You can feel it. But oftentimes people will dismiss it as just a coincidence. Will dismiss it as though it's, oh, I'm just dehydrated. I mean, you probably are dehydrated as well. It robs you of your hydration when someone is attempting to bore holes in your shield. So, that's one of the things, like, you have to start becoming aware of when it's time to defend your space, when it's time to take preemptive action. It's important. You're important. It's very, very important. Okay. As a matter of fact, I was just speaking to my husband about this. I'm going to make available today cycle 5 of level 1 of my certification program. So if you're wanting to learn how to work not just on yourself, but on your family members, work on clients, the certification program is what you need to learn. The amount of self-defense that I teach in that program. Whew, whew. We should flex a little. K33CP. Activate your A-OK. Just really let that energy surge. And you don't have to comment if you're in K33CP. Just go ahead, let that energy surge. Let's let our community feel how powerful we are as stewards, as the guardians of our community. Let them feel it. Ooh. I'm woo, woo, love it. Can you guys feel that? Ooh, I love it. It even, like, almost takes my breath away. It's I know. I'm telling you, quite a few of my students are man. Woo, woo, woo. I feel it. I can't even think. I'm just like, I'm tickled by it. Yeah. Yeah. Telling you, we have a powerful community. We're about to ordain quite a few ministers. We're about to ordain quite a few. There's quite a few people who are already certified in my level 1 of my program. Before you even finish level 1 of my program, you will already have surpassed the skill, the capacity to harness energy of every single type of Reiki master. Every single type of Reiki master. Yep. Oh, okay. Can you tone down the energy? I can't. It's a lot. It's good stuff though. It's good stuff, but it's a lot. Y'all are pulling me astral. It's so high. I love it. I absolutely love that. Okay. So unconditional love. You have to enter into this space of unconditional love for yourself, because when you're not in that space of unconditional love for yourself, what ends up happening is people who want to take advantage of the fact that you don't love yourself, they're going to go ahead and like try and utilize that uncertainty as a way to manipulate you. They're going to be drawn to you. So I had seen this video, right? um I had seen this one video where this older gentleman was talking about energy. He was talking about how um the law of attraction and vibration. He's talking about like, you know, when you focus on your vibration, you will match the frequency of what you want. And when you do that, then you'll draw it to you. And that's how you manifest. Well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, yes and no. He's right, but he's also not. Um, he's only partially got it. So when you intentionally calibrate your vibration and you're focused more on the vibratory component of your energy, what ends up happening is you become much more magnetic. You become more dense. Your particles are pulled to you, and so then you begin pulling to you the very things that vibrate at that same level. If you focus more on frequency oscillation, your oscillatory rate, you will then become much more electric and you can create the circumstance, right? There's a difference between drawing to you what you're vibrating at, which is a much lower type of frequency, it's a much more dense type of process, versus reaching higher levels of oscillatory rate and having a high frequency, and therefore having the ability to create the types of opportunities, circumstance, and connections. Um, so I mean, the older gentleman is kind of right, but he's also not completely right, because there's that component there that if you guys knew how to do that, you could actually create more opportunities for yourself rather than just trying to focus on bringing something to you and hoping it's the right thing, it's the thing you want, rather than the thing you're most afraid of, right? So you have to work on that unconditional love for self, because if you can't move past your anger at yourself, your rejection of self, um, your beliefs that you're not enough because someone else is trying to say you're not enough, uh, you're not going to be able to raise your frequency to the degree to become bioelectric, you know? So if you guys are not aware, I'm not a tarot card reader. Um I use the cards to focus my intuitive knowing. Um because I got some wicked ass ADHD. So I use the cards to focus on what my soul is trying to tell me. My real job is I teach and I conduct sessions. I created my own system. It's called Kokoro 33. I do a specific type of energy work, um, aura spectra bioregenesis, aura meaning light opening prayer. Spectra is a wide spectrum of light, the entire spectrum, and then the bioregenesis portion. So it can be used for your energetic bodies, it can be used for your physicality, your mental, all of that, right? All right. So, all right. Let me see. There was a thinking substance for the law of attraction, where, well, if you allow yourself to think of your muscles kind of like as an extension of your endocrine system, it secretes the types of hormones that are necessary to get you aligned, physiologically aligned and primed, to be able to attract things to you. But unless you're very well versed in that type of thing, um, you know, me explaining that on a live stream is just, I don't know. I think people would just be like, we just came here for a reading. But I definitely can teach that kind of stuff. That's the type of stuff that I teach on a weekly basis in my certification program. I help people understand a lot of the different processes that are going on within them in private mentorships. I do life coaching. I do all sorts of different types of coaching. Um, I don't really talk much about what I actually do for my job, but I'm not a tarot card reader. I can read. Um, I am highly intuitive, but that's not my profession. So timeout. I'm wondering if you're needing to take a timeout so that you can begin to understand some of the processes that you're actually in. I think for some people, you've been in a state of really trying to avoid, the processing, avoid the addressing of the circumstance, right? And I'm an avoider too, so it's not like I'm criticizing you. At least that's not my intention. I don't intend for you to receive this as a criticism. I'm speaking more as a member of that group, right? Yeah, no, when we avoid things to that degree, we make it so much harder for ourselves. We make it so much harder for ourselves because of the fact that what um what ended up happening was you avoided it, and the avoidance of what needed to be done was actually what allowed for it to continue, um to perpetuate, right? Like, what is perpetuating in your life? Is it something pleasurable, Or is it something that is very, very displeasurable for you? Because if it's very, very displeasurable, I mean, it's uncomfortable to face things, but I would think that it's even more uncomfortable to continue to remain in that displeasurable state, in that very dissatisfied, displeasurable state. So then you have to begin really choosing which is the lesser pain. And then that's what you're going to have to do. After a while, it became this thing of it is less painful for me personally to just address things, look things in the eye and address it right then, right there. Just address it. Right. And I'm still a person that really, as much as possible, if you give me the opportunity to avoid something, I will. I will. But if you're not going to give me any options to avoid it and I have to face it, I'm going to face it head on. I'm going to face it head on. Oh, I'm going to face that head on. And I think maybe what if this is just speculation, right? This is my theory, my hypothesis. What if you avoid things because you know that when you address it, you are absolutely going to demolish what's being placed in front of you? And you're afraid that you can't control that type of power. What if I told you you absolutely can? If you can have that type of power, that degree of self control to not use that power, I mean, what other evidence do you need? That's direct evidence of how powerful you are. I used to be afraid that if people knew that I could do energy work, this is years ago. If people knew that I could do energy work, then they might try me, they might try and attack me, they might like do all these things, they might try and gang stalk me, and oh, they all tried those things. Yeah, yet here I am. I don't attack people because that's just not me. That's just not me. If you give me any other option, it's just not me. But I will say, and I have no shame saying this, it was necessary. My stalker was absolutely flaunting because he used to be a student at very, very early in the stages of Kokoro 33 program. So he didn't really learn much. He learned basics. And he had sent in, I think, a message or commented somewhere that he's going to use the energetic structure that I activate in my students so they can do the energy work that I do. That he's going to use that structure to harm all the members of our community. He doesn't like the fact that you guys have access to me and that, we enjoy each other. He didn't like that, right? So he said he's going to use his AOK. He's going to kill everybody. Yeah. For the first time ever, I took corrective action. Not only did I deactivate his Arc of Kokoro, I ripped it out. I did. I did. I did. Because as the instructor, that is my obligatory decision. You don't get to keep active a structure that you plan to use to harm other people. So that's not even me retaliating. That's me knowing I need to take corrective action. You have no A-OK, bro. You thought you were going to kick my ass with an A-OK? Yeah, sure. You didn't even know, did you? Yeah. But I guess even that wasn't enough. Now you got to go to jail too. All you had to do was stop. That's your choice. For everybody, you can make choices to stop participating, stop initiating, stop instigating the type of shit that will cause you to have to live through the consequences of what you've chosen to create. That's how life works. You are not saving anyone by trying to shield them from the consequences of their actions, their decisions. What you need to do is remind yourself the same applies for you as well. You cannot shield yourself from decisions you've made in the past. You have to look at these things and recognize, how have they affected you? What's their effect on your journey thus far? What is it you need to do next? Do you need to take further action to correct? Maybe it's affected your chakras and your chakras need correction. Maybe it's affected your auric shield. Your shield needs some correction. Maybe you have distortions in your morphogenetic template that needs to be corrected. The sooner you correct things, the easier they are to correct. But if you wait too long, then it becomes very difficult to correct. Very, very difficult to correct. Right? For example, my thyroid has gone wonky, probably because I kept telling myself to be quiet about the poor treatment I was receiving from so many people, because I thought, like, oh, if people know that someone is being mean to me, they're going to be like, that's what you get, Emmy. No, that's not what I get. That's what I get, not because I'm a bad person and that's what I get. No, that's what I got because that's what I allowed. Taking ownership. Taking ownership. You know, taking full ownership of it. Okay. You got to take ownership of the things that you have allowed. That doesn't mean you deserved it. You got to take ownership of the decision you made to allow it. You have to seek out what you did the moment you allowed it. Did you go quiet? Because sometimes allowing something is simply through passive permission. What is passive permission? If you continue to, threaten to harm me, right? And I don't say anything, hoping that you'll just stop. That's giving you passive permission, because now, since I didn't say anything, you think like, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. I can do this again. I can do it some more. So what I've learned is, you're going to threaten me. I want to fucking see you try. Yeah, I want to see you try. My energy and my words communicate the same thing. You will not win here. Communicates the same thing. Now, if I were to be like, well, I want to see you try. No, that's not communicating what exactly it is I'm telling. I'm not giving you permission. Absolutely not. I will not give you permission. I no longer give even passive permission for people to be hurtful, harmful, disrespectful. No, I'm done. I am so far done with all of that. I'm done. Does that make me a mean person? No. Makes me a sovereign. I'm just no longer going to accept any of that. All my energy goes towards my healing, my defense, my dignity, my cultivation of my understanding of myself and my purpose. The same should apply for you and your energy. Do not place me on a pedestal and think that this only applies for me. Absolutely not. No, it applies to all of us. If you're done, you have to begin acting like you're done. You have to begin allowing yourself to be finished with the types of environments that give people who want to access you to harm you the access they're seeking. Okay? This can even include continuing to be friends with, be casual associates with people who hang out with those who dislike you and want to harm you. I'm never going to tell you who to be friends with. But the moment I am aware that you are buddy buddy with someone who wants to harm me, I wish you well. No, thank you. I can't hang out. No, I'm sorry. I can't chat right now. No, I can't chat later either. Oh, next week? No, I'm sorry. I can't go next week. And eventually, what will happen is if you continue to try and access me, serve as a bridge, I will just stop responding to you. Because no, you will not be the bridge to access me. I don't think you're a bad person, and I want to be respectful of your connections with others. And, I'm good. No, thank you. Right? I agree. This right here. I agree. I agree. I agree. That's why we vibe. We got scissors. I mean, you might be a little more aggressive with those scissors than me. I think I might tolerate a little bit more. I think now I might tolerate a little bit more and I'll be like, I'll hold my scissors and be like, and I could totally visualize and like, girl, scoot over. I use my own scissors. I'd be like, but wait. And she's like, no, 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 no. Hey. Hey. She's helped to avoid a lot of caca. I tell you that much. Hey, I ain't even gonna hate. Sometimes I need that. Sometimes I need someone to push me aside and be like, oh no, no, no. I got scissors to cut that for you. She's like efficient. So this is a lack of ability, maybe lack of desire to move forward from whatever that point of hurt was, right? The countdown has begun, and based on the cards so far, it's almost like a countdown to you realizing your gilded cage has been unlocked and the door left open this entire time. Yikes. Yikes. So I have this Chewini. She's my little Chewiwi, Miss Joy Joy. And she'll never run away. In order for her to be missing, someone would have to abduct her. She'll probably fight you too. Yeah, my whole family thought she was this passive thing until I think someone came over last night and she charged at him. She's like, no new men in this house. Yeah. If you're a female, she'd be like, oh, hey, girl, who are you? But yeah, no, she'd never run away. She'd just never run away because she loves us. We've had her since she was just a few weeks old. She loves us. She feels devastated if I'm not home. She's loyal. Are you loyal like that to the places that hurt you? Where it's like, you deserve to be treated better, but your loyalty, you're loyal to the places that hurt you. Sometimes these are places that exist outside of you, your environment. Sometimes these are people. Sometimes this is the house, the mental house you live in within yourself. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Why are you offended? I'm asking myself, why are you offended? Because it feels like some type of infringement on my privacy. Well, it's only an infringement if you choose to answer, correct? Yes, correct. The lack of consideration when asking people personal questions is offensive. But do I need to be offended? No, it's a choice. It's a choice, right? So why am I offended? Maybe there's still this part of me that wonders if someone asks me a personal question about myself, details about my family, my relatives, my parents. Maybe there's still that part of me that's just waiting for someone to use the answer they get out of me by that seemingly random question as a way to help them understand why I'm so crazy or any other really fucked up perception people have because I don't fit the mold. I need to work on that. I definitely need to work on that. I need to work on the root causations. Whatever it is inside me that causes me to still have that knee jerk assumption of the reasoning behind questions, right? Or maybe I just need to flat out ask, why do you want to know? What is your intention with that question? Rather than me have assumptions, what is your intent that you would want that type of information from me? What's the reasoning? I would love to know so that I could better calibrate my understanding of how accurate or inaccurate my intuition is. What part of my character are you trying to understand by way of my parentage? I have quite a few more cards to go through. So you have quite a bit of time to finish typing up the answers to my questions. Because I would love for you to help me to better understand myself today, to better understand my triggers and how to put them to sleep. Or help me better confirm just how accurate my intuition is. We'll see. I'll wait for your response though. Patience, a lack of patience for your process. You have to be able to be patient as you go through the process, right? I can't just allow myself to be angry and jump to conclusions. I have to be patient. I have to process the why. I have to ask myself, why do I feel offended? Why am I feeling this way? What is this about? Giving myself and whoever else is involved in the equation of whatever's being experienced the opportunity to give further clarity as to what they are contributing to it, right? I feel this growing sense of being offended in the chest, but it's not going any further. It's not entering into my throat and causing me to speak in a harsh manner. I'm curious. I'm curious, right? Worlds within worlds. This is the period where these parts of you that you've kept hidden so deeply within you are going to be the very parts that rise to the surface so that you can better understand yourself, so that you can better grasp whatever it is you need to grasp. How well do you know yourself? I know myself enough to know that I don't fully know and fully understand the totality of me yet, right? I know myself enough to know that. Dang, you writing a whole paragraph? No response yet? Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. So, let us see. The Alchemist. You have the power to shift a lot of what you're going through by simply making decisions, um, being patient with your process, right? Making the decision to kind of better understand where your process is rooted. Are you just being reactive? Or is this, I don't know, like an opportunity for you to more deeply and consciously seek out the root causations that have led to the effects that you're still struggling through? I mean, yeah, you can't change what you don't know, right? You have to be able to know what it is. Um, you know, ooh, I resonate with this so deeply. I had to accept how cold I can be or become. Do you have Capricorn in your chart? Do you have Capricorn in your chart? I'm serious. I laugh because I have Capricorn in my chart. Capricorn is my moon, you know? Yeah, so here's the thing. That's why like I think if you were to ask me, Darren, I don't feel like it would be something that would feel offensive to me. That's why I ask, like, what is their reasoning behind the question, right? Like, I don't feel like it's a benign question. You know? Oops, sorry. I would be interested to hear about the energies that surrounded you in your upbringing, but then I'm nosy. No, that's just a curiosity, you know what I mean? It's all in the way you um it's all in the way that you approach things, your intention with that, where your mindset is. I don't get offended by people's curiosity. Like I've had people ask me the most craziest things and I just answer them willy-nilly because they don't have any malicious intent there. I can feel that, you know? I can feel when someone is genuinely curious, that there's no um, pre-existing condemnations or, you know, whatever it is that I'm picking up. I don't know what I was picking up earlier by that question. Um, but yeah. If you email me, I'll let you know. I'll definitely answer that question, Darren. Contact at mevolving.com. I mean, it's not a secret to me. But there was something in the question that was posed earlier that really just like immediately offended me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, and I'm seeking the reasoning, but I'm assuming the person's no longer in the live stream or is not going to comment. Um, ooh, this as well, right? Ooh, that's hard things to look at within myself. I'm harsh. I am to be as compassionate as much as I have been harsh. Yes. So the thing with being a totality is as light and bright as you are, you have the same intensity of darkness and depth and density, right? You have to be at the middle point where you can be extremely warm um, and also be extremely cold, you know? Rocket, I didn't find any offense in your question at all. I wasn't offended by your question, you know? Yeah. I wasn't offended by your question at all. It was a very specific question that suddenly everything zoned in. I don't know. Maybe there's a parasitic situation going on, and I zoned in on the parasitic situation um, more than the question. That's why it's kind of like, why would I be offended by that question? It seemed like a benign question. Intellectually speaking, it seemed like a benign question. Emotionally, energetically, it did not feel benign at all. At all. So when you have these things, these sensitivities, you got to listen to it. If that was an innocent question, and I'm not accusing anyone, this is my logic, okay? I'm just sharing my logic. If that was a truly innocent question and it was a misunderstanding, I would assume that the person would be very quick to be like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that would offend you. I sometimes ask random ass questions. And then I realize, like, oh, should I not have asked that? I'm very sorry. Sometimes questions just pop in my head and it just comes out of my mouth. You don't have to answer that. Even people I've known for some time will be texting and then I'll ask a question and immediately as soon as I send it, I'll be like, girl, you don't got to answer that. I'm so sorry. You don't have to answer any of my questions. I'm being super nosy. You don't have to answer none of that. I'm sorry. Right. So, you have to listen to what your intuition is telling you. I didn't get the full message, so I wasn't sure exactly what my intuition was telling me. And when you don't know exactly what, then you need to take the steps to figure out. You need to take the steps that are necessary to responsibly understand what is lacking in information, what is lacking in clarity. So this is not, again, this is not about accusing anyone of anything. This is about me processing out loud so that you can be given kind of like an insider look as to how I'm dealing with the period that we're in. Hi, Robin. um, we're all going through this ascension process, all of us, all of us. And if we're not going to pay attention, the countdown has begun to what? Probably to the countdown to a higher level of understanding of yourself. Ooh, you got a weird sense from it too. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Oh, they retracted the message themselves. Oops. On my end, even if you retract the message on the platform that I'm live off of, because I am not live streaming native to the platform, it stays on my end. I can still see it. I can still access it. Even if you block me, because some people are weird like that, they will block me on Facebook, they will block me on YouTube, and they want to try and have conversation with my community, try and be disrespectful like that. Like, she can't see me. Yeah, I can. I see all the comments. Every single last one pops up on my screen. So yeah, had I known they deleted it, I would have just, yeah, I would have just mm. But I'm assuming this is something you guys needed to witness to better calibrate your understanding of whatever process you're in or will soon be in. There is nothing inherently or obviously malicious on my end, on the other person's end. This is me talking out loud, processing my thoughts out loud, helping myself to go through this process of not returning back to my spaces of toxicity. Because once upon a time, you asked me personal questions about my family, my parents, my siblings, before I got married and had my own family. That immediately is like, why you ask? Right? So there's progress. I'm making progress through that. Um, yeah, that was interesting. That was definitely interesting to thank you for telling me that, Sochi. I'll put your comment up so people know who I'm addressing on the different platforms. Excuse me. Sochi says on my side of the comments, that question popped up, then it was deleted. I don't know if they deleted themselves or someone else, but I also got a weird sense from it when I saw it. Yeah. It was just an immediate weird sense. So it's like, why do you want to know? Right. I mean, I deal with a lot of questionable intention from others. I'm not a victim. That's part of the job that I do. And so, I'm very sensitive to people's unspoken intentions. Hey, Rocket, behave. The Deweetas. Oh my God. That's what I felt. This is what I felt. This is what I felt. Like there's some type of trying to harvest information for what though? And again, you know, just processing out loud what I'm picking up on, not saying that it's all factual on the other person's end. We don't know what's going on the other person's end. They didn't answer, right? But on my end, just processing out loud, right? Processing out loud and helping you guys to kind of get an insider view on how intuition might play out for you during this period. Okay. Higher perspective, allowing yourself to see things from a different vantage point. So I could have just allowed myself to continue forward with um, feeling triggered, not wondering why I'm triggered, just fully embracing the fact that someone's triggered me and going to town with that. Why? Why do that? Which I mean, you could, but what's that going to accomplish? Because I told him off. Okay. But isn't that the same toxic cycle you've been in? Right? Isn't that the same space that you have been existing within that you're unhappy with? Now, this is not about trying to point out that you're wrong. This is about pointing out if you're going to continue to make the same decisions, you're going to continue to stay in the same environment. If you're not happy in that environment, different decisions that lead to different actions need to be explored. It definitely needs to be explored. Um, maybe yeah, it could be this as well. They deleted pretty quickly, so I thought they realized it was a bit much. Maybe. We never know. You know, maybe I was feeling someone else in the audience. We don't know. We don't know. That's why I asked the questions, right? First asking yourself before just jumping to conclusions is a lot healthier for you and your stress level. I'm talking to myself. it's a good and solid way to transmute, right? Typically what happens, moving forward from that, typically what happens when you pick up, you have an intuitive um hit regarding something, right? It's caused you to question something, it's caused you to feel some kind of weird way. So now you're questioning it maybe out loud. Typically that's enough for the individual to, um, if they're being parasitically accessed and used as a Trojan, that's usually enough for the person to kind of back down, you know, like their parasitic circumstance will back down, because then the parasitic circumstance is at risk of being pointed out by you to the individual. They don't usually, the person doesn't know if they have that type of parasitic situation. Usually they don't know. So, when I get all triggered by someone's energy and they have a parasitic circumstance, I'm not triggered by them, I'm triggered by the parasite. Yeah. I was telling my class, I think it was like last week. Um, one of the ways I know when someone has a very pronounced parasitic circumstance is, I usually am like, oh, hey, hi, and I enjoy their presence. I enjoy interacting. And then suddenly, with no drama happening between us, I'm like, oh, God. Like, damn, where did that come from? I'm like, I can't stand them. Where did that come from? Yeah, that means it usually means they've been breached. I'm picking up on the parasite. I'm just like, ugh, because I don't like parasitic energy. I feel it immediately. Immediately. So that's something for you guys to think about as well. If you're similar to me in that way, where you're pretty tolerant of everyone, you're pretty patient with people. You don't really have expectations of others. You just, as long as, we can be mutually respectful, it's all good. And then suddenly you're like, oh no, you probably have a demon detector built into you. You probably have a demon horita detector inside you, and it's ringing the bells. Um, yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Rainbow Flames. She says the way you asked yourself why was important to see. That form of self reflection has personally been so necessary in my practice of self compassion. Yeah, because you really can't just be like, oh my God, I'm being such a bitch. Like, no, why do you feel that way? Address the why. Address the why. Okay, seek that answer out. This right here. Boo. It's just the breed. No, 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 no. No, yeah, it's the breed. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Maltese, but I've noticed that. It's like, do um chihuahuas need an extraction? No, it's just the breed. Breeds that select only one human as their human, they have a tendency to act that way. They have a tendency to act that way for real. Okay, soul work in reverse. I think for many of us, we're afraid to do the soul work. We fluctuate back and forth with the things that we know we need to work on versus the things that we're willing to work on, right? And, you kind of just, you kind of just got to make sure that you allow your soul to speak to you. You got to just hear it out at least once. Hear it out, okay? Hear it out and uh, allow yourself the opportunity to um dare to dream, right? dare to bring to fruition this dream you have about a peaceful life, a beautiful life, a life where you feel very comfortable within yourself, where you can reflect upon different things and you're not at risk of attacking yourself. Um, Being in environments where you feel welcome, you feel accepted, you feel loved, all of those things. That's beautiful. I think for all of us, literally all of us, that's our dream, to be in an environment where we feel accepted, where people in the environment can see us for who we are and not feel as though, like, the people who see us are prejudging us, right? That um that's one of my things where I don't know, I've always had this mindset, I think probably my whole life, where if you're going to accuse me of something, if you're, you know, going to prejudge me and condemn me without even getting to know me, I'll play that role. I'll play that role. I'm stepping away from that because it's a very toxic behavior. Um But when I was much younger, that was the thing, like, "Oh, you wanna accuse me of being horrendous? Ooh, game on. That's the character you want me to play? Alright, I'll be horrendous." Um, it's toxic, not just to the person you're doing it to, but to yourself, because the reality is when you do that, when you live up to other people's ugly expectations of you, yeah, for a moment, it felt good to really shove it in their face, but then at the same time, right after that moment, you feel horrible about yourself. So what did that solve? What did that fix? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. In fact, it further created more pain for you because now you're feeling like, oh my God, why am I like this? Well, because you didn't look at what it's rooted in. Maybe that's the type of pain that's rooted in this sense of being so alone because just nobody understands you, right? Like nobody understands. And because they don't understand, um, they can't accept you. And when they can't accept you, then that's confirmation that you're not enough, or maybe you're too much, or maybe just you're not lovable. All these like really ugly aspects, really ugly questions that rise up from the depths of our insecurity, right? It's time for that process to be laid to rest. Let it end. Don't continue resuscitating it. Okay? Let it move on to its next life away from you. When you do that, your magic is allowed to come back forward. Sartorian activation. You're going to be able to heal yourself beyond this dark interference. There are things that continue to try and interfere with a process of you becoming more of who you are. And the cards are telling me all this right now. Look, metamorphosis in reverse, Blu-ray awakening in reverse. Something is trying to prevent you from reaching a space of acceptance and understanding of yourself, your purpose, all of that. I think this is a process that was probably initiated years ago. I think this process was initiated years ago. It started with the sense of being separate from maybe from source, being separated from family, being separated from friends, being separated from people you have a soul connection with. Um, Even going so far as to say being separated from an actual true twin, right? So this is something that was initiated. And as it was initiated, there was a lot that was hidden. Whatever was hidden, um, it could have burned away all the distortions. And darn fire is just a step down from seraphim flames, that God fire. It's just a step down from that. So it has the ability to clear very rapidly, very rapidly. And so things weren't able to clear. Look at this fire cleanser in reverse, right? Um, but even with that, you've been very, very protected. You need to call back to you the highest degrees of your consciousness. People don't know that there are layers and levels to the higher self. You have um you have the soul self, you have the soul identity, incarnate identity, soul identity, avatar, incarnate identity, soul identity. My brain. So the incarnate identity is you. That's your conscious mind, your human mind. And then the soul identity, that's typically the higher self that the average person will connect with. You have three other higher self levels that you can connect with. Is it the Buddhaic self, Christic self? And then there's the avatar. And then there is the Rishik. You know, those are all higher selves because they're above harmonic universe one. Which one are you connecting with? Now, until you get to a high enough degree, which would probably be the upper echelon of the avatar higher self, yeah, no, all those other ones are still going to have distortions. You need to reach at least 12D to not have distortions. And you got people here who are, trying to do all of these services for you, and their goal is to be 7D. Like, bro, that still has distortions. It still has distortions. And you wonder why the information you retrieve for yourself is distorted. Well, because it's still within distortions. It depends on what your life purpose is, as well as your genetic strand activation capability, how many strands can be activated. It also depends on several other factors within your morphogenetic template. Um, you guys. Let me put this in. Let me put this in my thing. Determine what level of higher self. Higher self. Okay. Thank you for that suggestion, Sochi. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book. Excuse me. So you're going to need to awaken your gnosis. Gnosis is knowledge. Why do you need to awaken gnosis? It's just a layer. Okay. It is just a layer. Knowledge. What do you do with that knowledge? Well, when you apply it, knowledge and action is wisdom. It is Sophia, right? So you have to begin awakening your awareness to what knowledge you have accumulated over the course of your life. Because really, the knowledge that you've been able to accumulate has really, really helped you, or can really, really help you if you know what that knowledge is. For example, you go to medical school for 8 years, you end up choosing not to be a doctor. That's fine. I know a lot of people that have done that. And you kind of just go on with your life. Well, now there's a medical situation that needs to be addressed within your family. We need to figure out if, we need to call 911 or, whatever this is. If you don't allow yourself to tap into the knowledge you learned in the 8 years that you were in medical school and doing residency stuff, you're not going to know. You're not going to have the wisdom to discern. You won't be able to triage that, right? Not everything that you go through is a trap. Some of the things that you're going through right now are the very things that will trigger you to reignite that sacred flame, right? It will trigger you to reignite exactly whatever it is you need to begin looking at, whatever it is that you need to begin really, really considering so that you can reach higher levels of understanding of you. Let's go ahead and pull a Kiki card. I got to get going because I'm hungry. I'm serious. I'm hungry. I had to go eat. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day already. It's only 3:40. Girl. All right. Here goes. Excuse me. Okay, rock out with the nipples out. That's all you, girl. I'm serious. Look, she's rocking out with her nipplies out. Empress of the Pearl, you have an inner gift of great value, born of struggle, adversity, and challenge. In wisdom, you know that suffering can lead to growth, provided we are willing to search for a way to heal through it. Seeing challenges as ways to expand your spiritual light empowers you to focus on the growing light rather than getting caught up in suffering. Woo! I mean, tell me that is not so perfectly aligned with what we've been talking about this whole time. Natural pearls are rare, lustrous feminine gems created within a living organism, the pearl oyster. They have a unique creation process. Natural pearls were created when a foreign entity, such as a grain of sand or parasite, finds its way into the pearl oyster. The oyster reacts and creates layers of pearlescent substance, creating a warmly glowing treasure within. Just like a beautiful and rare natural pearl, you have a unique spiritual beauty to offer to the world. Your pearl is your precious gift, something unique that's being born through your experiences and consciousness that cannot be created or copied by another because it is of your own unique soul light. You know, it's very interesting because this morning I was watching a video about pearls, of all things, pearls. And they were showing how they cultivate pearls, that they don't put a grain of sand into the oyster. Instead, they put a small marble. They put the small marble and they leave it there for a year. And there is the pearlescence that is coated on the outside. It's like gold plating. Why am I sharing this with you? If someone wants to copy your pearl in that way, they're still not the real thing. They're still not ever going to be as valuable as you. The only way your value will be diminished or tarnished is if you allow it to be. If you allow people to continue to degrade you within your own mind, yeah, your value will diminish within your eyes. Not because you're less valuable, because you see yourself as less. Don't copy other people. Allow other people to inspire you to be more of who you are. Allow other people to be the inspiration to cultivate more of what you like in yourself. Know that whoever you stand in front of, whatever you like about them, that is a reflection of something within you already. You don't have to be the next anything. You don't have to be like anyone. The countdown has begun for you to become more of who you are. Any struggles you've experienced are a karmic gift to help you grow this inner exquisite offering to support the spiritual evolution of humanity. Once you recognize this, you can dispense with your struggles more swiftly, using them to help you grow and not adding unnecessary energy or focus to the problem, which might make it grow instead. If you have found yourself attracting negative energies from those around you, or perhaps feeling drained or sometimes even possessed by negative thoughts or experiences, you don't have to feel afraid. You can heal with Kuan Yin now, allowing that which is stirred up within you to begin forming the beautiful gift you have to share. Just as the pearl starts from irritation and reaction, so are the circumstances in your life which feel uncomfortable serving you to help you grow your gift. It's time to realize that your soul is growing in luster and beauty to share with the world. Once you realize this, your struggles become less and your soul light becomes even more luminous. I love that. Just as the pearl starts from irritation and reaction. Ooh. So, to all my reactive baby boos, those baby boos in our community who are just as reactive as I am. I guess it's not pathology, it's not disease. It's the initiation of more pearls. Some people are here to create one pearl in a lifetime. And then there's others of us who are here to create enough to make a necklace. Stop being ashamed of who you are. Stop being ashamed of the way you function. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Yes, seek out the help, the assistance that you need to better understand what you're struggling through, how to more easily navigate whatever it is you're going through. Yes, get whatever help. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't you ever believe that you are nothing but a label. Don't you ever allow someone else to convince you that you're nothing but a living disease. So I think Soul is very clear in this reading that it is time for us to not just rise, but to first stand so we know we're capable of walking, we're capable of flying, we're capable of swimming, we're capable, period. Allow yourself to travel through your journey, travel through your life, travel through all the different spaces that exist within you. Allow. Let yourself take into consideration all the different things that you've lived through that cause you to function in the way that you do. If you see things about you that you don't quite like, you got to make sure you understand why you don't like that. Is it because it reminds you of what someone else did to you? And that behavioral pattern is a result of trauma. It's time to heal that trauma. It's time to love on that part of you that protected you, that took the brunt of that pain the trauma caused. Heal that part by loving it, holding it gently, and then move on to the other parts that you also need to address to heal. We store trauma inside our body. You store everything you've lived through in your body. Have you ever heard these stories of people who receive transplanted organs and body parts? You know, they have this medical need, and so they get the body part they need from a donor. And, you know, it's this thing of like, suddenly they're liking the things that the donor used to like when they were still alive. They're having these memories, these flashbacks, these dreams. They suddenly know information about the donor, not realizing those are the donor's memories. Everything you've lived through continues to live inside you. Make it a beautiful space. Address the things that no longer need to be there. Allow yourself. So, guys, I got to get going. Join me in a couple hours. I think like 2 hours or so. I'm going to be coming live here again. Whatever platform you're watching me on, I'm going to be live here, and I'm going to be doing aura paintings live. So, if you'd like to see how your aura looks, how I see it, go check it out. Let me put it on the screen. Here it is. There you go. To purchase an expedited request, please visit meevolving.com/shop/aura-event. We got this, you guys. We absolutely got this. Allow yourself to accept yourself. The countdown has begun. The countdown has begun, and you return back to your space of grace and self love is imminent. It is imminent. There's nothing wrong with you. You are lovable. You are capable. You are intelligent. You are valued. Hey, you know what? Maybe not by everyone, but in this community, yes, you are. Yes, you are. I hope you join me often. Share me out. If you know anyone else that needs to be in a community where they can be just held gently, not forced into anything, just held gently and given the time and the space to really just look at themselves with no condemnation so they can start healing, send them here. This is the perfect space. This is the perfect space. I love you guys. You do that for me every time I'm live. I love you guys. I'm very, very grateful for your presence, for your support, for all of it. I'm very grateful. So I'll see you guys at, I think, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. That's like in 2 hours, I want to say. And I'm going to be doing our paintings. I'll see you guys then. Please give this video a thumb up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone.